And now for the fourth and final part of the introduction here, we're going to once again begin by playing the 4th fret of our A and sliding up to the 7th fret. It will sound like this. Once you get to the 7th fret of your A, right below it you'll place your pinky on the 7th fret of your D and you'll play that note. So far here in part 4 we have this played slow. And then following that, what you're going to do is you're going to place your pointer finger onto the 4th fret of your G. You're going to pick that note one time. Then place your middle finger on the 5th fret of your G and play that once. So far here in part 4 we have this played slow. And then after we played the 5th fret of our G, what you're going to do is you'll move your middle finger out of the way. Place your pointer finger here on the 4th fret of your G string, and what we're going to do is this. I'm going to pick the G string one time here, and after I've done it, I'm going to take my middle finger and I'm going to hammer onto the 5th fret of the G and then immediately pull back off. That will sound like this. And then look at that from this angle here, looks like this. So far here in part 4 we have this all together played slow. And then following that, you're going to place your pinky on the 7th fret of your D string, play that one time. Then place your middle finger on the 5th fret of your D and play that one time. So far here in part 4 of the introduction, we have this played slow. And then after that, what you're going to do is you're going to place your ring finger onto the 5th fret of your A. You're going to pick it and then slide up to the 7th fret of the A. It will sound like this. Then what you're going to do is you're going to continue to press down firmly with your ring finger. We're now going to pick the 7th fret of our A and slide back down to the 5th fret. So all together here in part 4 we have this played slow. And then after that, you'll place your pointer finger on the 3rd fret of your A. You'll pick it and then pick your pointer finger up off the board. Then you will once again press down firmly with your pointer finger here on the 3rd fret of your A. You'll pick it once again and this time you'll play a vibrato. Now that ends part 4. Part 4 played all together in slow. Part 4 played in real speed. And now here's parts 1 through 4 that make up the introduction, played together in real speed. So that's parts 1 through 4 played together in real speed. The song begins. We will run through that. We'll run through parts 1 through 4 together only one time. And then immediately after that we move into rhythm figure 1. And now rhythm figure 1 is going to be something that's going to be heard throughout most of the song. It makes up the verses and the chorus. Now here I'm going to run through rhythm figure 1 one time and then I will break it down. But first, here's rhythm figure 1 played one time in real speed. Rhythm figure 1 consists of 3 chords here in our chord progression. The first chord that we're going to take a look at is known as an A minor 7 with an added 4th. This chord is fretted by taking your pointer finger and placing it here on the 3rd fret of your B string. Then you want to take your pinky and place it on the 5th fret of your G, and directly above it place your ring finger on the 5th fret of your D. So that's the chord there. The 3 notes that we have pressed down now are going to be the 5th fret of the D, the 5th fret of the G, and then the 3rd fret of the B string. And like I said before, the name of this chord is an A minor 7 with an added 4th. And now what you're going to do is this. We're not going to strum this chord with our pick. What you're going to do is I hold my pick just like I usually do, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my middle finger and I'm going to place it underneath my D string. I'm going to take my ring finger, I'm going to place it underneath the G, and then I'll take my pinky and I'll place it underneath the B. So I've got those three fingers underneath those three strings. And what we're going to do is we're going to be plucking these strings rather than picking them. So to do it one time will sound like this. Okay, now what we're going to do here with our first chord is we're going to pluck those three notes together at the same time. We'll pluck them together a total of 3 times. To do that will sound like this, played slow. And in real speed it will sound like this. And then following that, the second chord in our chord progression is known as a C major. In this position it is played by placing your pointer finger on the 8th fret of your B string. Place your middle finger on the 9th fret of your G, and place your ring finger on the 10th fret of your D string. And now what we're going to do here is we're going to hold that chord and we're going to pluck the same 3 strings. We're going to pluck those 3 notes at the same time. Here we're going to be plucking these notes together a total of 5 times. To do that, slowly will sound like this. And in real speed it will sound like this. So far, with our first 2 chords, we have this played in real speed. And then for the third and final chord using the chord progression is our last shape that we had. We're going to basically just move it up so that your pointer finger is now on the 13th fret of your B, your middle finger is on the 14th fret of your G, and your ring finger is now on the 15th fret of your D string. And once again, we're going to be plucking these 3 notes. You'll just hold the chord with your fretting hand and then pluck the 3 notes at the same time. Here we will play these 3 notes together a total of 8 times. It will sound like this played slow. And in real speed it will sound like this. And that will make up our rhythmic figures chord progression here. To play it all together in real speed will sound like this. So that's rhythm figure 1. What we're going to do is the song begins, you'll play the introduction, you'll run through parts 1 through 4, a total of 1 time. And then after that we're going to play rhythm figure 1, we'll run through that chord progression, we'll play it a total of 8 times. And after we played it our 8th time, then we're going to play a little fill. It's something that we've already went over. What it is it's just parts 1 and 2 of the introduction, which is this. And then after you've done that, you will then play rhythm figure 1. Once again, we will play it 8 more times. You'll run through the chord progression a total of 8 times. And then after you've done it your 8th time, we will then move into the bridge.